Hello everyone, it's me, GLAM. For those of you who know who I am, I'm doing a different type of blog than what you're accustomed to. And for those of you who don't know who I am many things. I'm a chef, I'm an artist, and recently I've been doing a lot of different things to do with nutrition. My husband has a business called Fitness with Dottie, and we try to help people transform their lives by use of nutrition and exercise. So today I'm going to be doing an important vlog, and it's all about yeast. Lots of women I know have suffered with yeast. I think in our lives as women, most of us will have some issue with yeast at some point, especially if our immunity gets low, or well, especially that, but also sometimes different things like, you know, the wrong underwear, different climate and whatnot might make us have to end up with a yeast infection, which is a horrible experience. And today I'm just going to share with you, some different things you can do to avoid and manage yeast, because the thing about yeast is that yeast exists in all of us, but it is when there's an imbalance that we get the yeast infection and get problems. There are lots and lots of studies about this. There's lots of things that you can do, that you can look at, but this blog is just a quick blog in order to get you on the right track, to make sure you're doing the right things for yourself. And funnily enough, as with all things in life, the same thing that's good for one thing seems to be good for so many things. So for people who might end up going on a yeast cleanse or a yeast diet or whatever, a lot of times the things that they're doing for this problem will help them to lose weight, clear their skin, all sorts of different things. Because usually when you have something going wrong in the body, it's not one thing, and by the time that the yeast gets to a point from being a little bit of a bother into a big full-fledged infection, there's probably different stuff that's wrong with you as well. So there's a lot of things I want you to consider. I have 8 points, and they're all just as important as the other points. So there's no step 1, step 2. All of these are things I think are very, very important. And you can research this, at least online. You can read some books about this, as I have, and I hope that you will see just how beneficial what I'm going to tell you is. Now, last year I was feeling a little bit sick, and I went on a cleanse, and one of the items here is actually something that I learned from doing my cleanse. I'm going to tell you how to make it, and I'll also tell you that for more information and more help as far as the herbs are concerned, or information on doing a cleanse, please contact HELP, Healing Earth Life Products. It's run by a guy whose name is Haru. He's really great, and he can help you out. This is located in my Lord's Hill in Barbados. My Lord's Hill, sorry, but Lord is Bajan. The first step that I have here, and as I said, these are not in any real order, but they're how they came to me and what I remember, but all of these steps I think are equally important, is the acidophilus supplement and including acidophilus in your diet. The good bacteria in your gut helps to manage the fungus and the other flora in the gut. It's all called intestinal flora, and they're all essential. We are supposed to have yeast. We're just not supposed to have an overgrowth of yeast. And when sometimes we get an overgrowth in the gut, it travels its way down into the vagina and causes us a whole bunch of problems. So the first thing that I have on my list is acidophilus supplement and diet. What I mean is, you should buy an acidophilus supplement, one with lots of good bacteria in it, and in your diet you need to include acidophilus food, which is basically yogurt for the most part, and not these new fangled low fat yogurts. You want to get a full fat normal plain yogurt, or maybe even one with a little bit of fruit, but you don't really want any sugar. So I would buy the plain yogurt and maybe add some fruit to it if I was looking for fruit. I'll continue talking about this a little bit later on, but we're going to be cutting down on sugar, and fruits are usually high in sugar, so you don't want to have too much fruit in this diet either, because sugar feeds yeast. Another thing I would like to say about the acidophilus is that this is something people leave out. If you go online and you're trying to do like a yeast cleanse, and you go and you look up information, people leave this out and charge you, and then when they charge you for the program or whatever they're offering, you'll see acidophilus as one of the main things, because this is going to balance you out. The other thing I want to say is that when you're on this sort of yeast cleanse thing, there's a lot of things that you want to avoid, such as, because I said and diet, so I'm just going to mention the diet: cheese, sugars, fermented products. Also, a big set of refined carbohydrates which turn into sugar in the body, such as white rice, white bread, and whatnot. You want to be using the brown version of these things, and you don't want to be using a large amount of these things, because at this point what you're trying to do is not necessarily diet for fat loss, but you probably will lose some fat, but you are trying to get rid of the excess yeast by not feeding the yeast and basically starving it. And during the time when you start to starve the yeast, you will have cravings, but you need to understand that these cravings are because of the yeast, and the yeast is like a monster in your stomach just waiting to gobble up all that sugar, and you need to leave it out. Okay, the second step to alkalize the body. In the acidic condition of the body, you find you get a lot of different problems, and cancer thrives in acidic conditions, and so does yeast. So one of the main things people use to alkalize is some lime water. Try replacing some of your drinks with plain water and lime water. And there's even studies to show baking soda as being very beneficial in fighting things when it has been directly injected into cancers and whatnot, because of the alkaline properties. However, it is high sodium, so I would not use it all the time, but a little baking soda water, especially when your stomach is upset, which it will be when you have the yeast, goes a long way as well. So lime water, baking soda water, and as I said, a diet comes through all the time. During the time when you're cutting down on your sugar, your cheese, and all the things that we like to eat in abundance, we need to ask ourselves these questions: are we really healthy? And most of the time the answer is no, because most of the time when we should be eating properly, we're not really eating that properly, and then more often than we should be, we do eat junk. So it creates an imbalance in our bodies, which is what causes things like yeast infections, cancers, and all the different problems that we face. So while we're on this diet, we want to be having high greens, low lactose, which is milk sugar, so low milk, but don't forget the yogurt. And at the same time, like a person like me, I'm lactose intolerant. I don't really eat much yogurt. It's the only thing I might eat most of the time, or just a little piece of cheese. But for anything to do with the gut flora and whatnot, I do take acidophilus, and I think it should be a part of your life to make sure you get a little bit of acidophilus in there, constantly keeping your gut balanced. Probiotic supplements, and nowadays those things are getting popular, so check it out and look for a good probiotic supplement. You can always ask your doctor about this. Of course, I am just a blogger, but I'm hoping that I can help you. The third thing you want to do, as I said earlier about the diet, you need to eliminate sugar as much as humanly possible. Remember, sugar is found in the refined carbohydrates, and sugar is also found in fruits. You want to cut down on your fruit. Even tomatoes have sugar, and when my husband goes on his sugar-free diet, he does not eat tomatoes either. So you need to understand that this diet in the beginning is going to be hard, because most of us have sugar addiction, and we have to get rid of that in order to get rid of the yeast. The fourth thing on my list is garlic flush. Garlic is very antifungal and very powerful. How rude, the camera cut me off. I can't understand. Anyway, yeah, so the garlic flush is also good for anything to do with bacteria in general, because garlic is antifungal and anti-inflammatory, just like the ginger that I had also mentioned. The fifth thing on my list is sun and air. It is, you know, you might not want to be a person to go outside and have your vagina out in the sun. However, wearing a dress, maybe with no underwear, walking around the sun, or with light underwear, cotton underwear especially, is very good for you. Sun and air are also antifungal, which is why, you know, when you get your nails done or something and your nails get covered up, sometimes you will get a fungus in your nail, which you might not have gotten if you just had your nails out all the time. Which is why you will find that most of the time you see men, especially like in Barbados where I live currently, you will see men with very clear nails compared to women, because, you know, the men, they have their toes out all the time, especially your feet, which gets the fungus the most. So sun and air is very antifungal and very important, along with bathing properly, but I would hope that we know that one. Okay, the other thing, number 6, get your partner treated. It's no sense that you know, are trying to fight the yeast and keep getting it put back in all the time. I would hope that in this day and age that we would be having protected sex, especially if we're having sex with a person who is not interested in having any children with us, or who is not in a serious relationship with us. However, I would hope that we are in serious relationships and that we can talk to our partners about them getting treated as well if we have a yeast infection which is not going away. You can talk to your doctor more about this, but the same things that you're doing are nice for the partner to do. And guys often have yeast and don't know, because it will be in their gut, but it will not go into their penis in the same way how it would go into the vagina, which is an opening, and line the vagina with the yeast. So a lot of guys have yeast and they don't even know that they have it, and they might only get topical yeast on the outside of the penis due to having sex with a woman with yeast. But either way, it's good to protect yourself. Number 7, topical cream and the pill for the gut. Now, of course, you can fight yeast infection naturally, but this will take lots and lots of time and effort on your part. If the whole reason why you have yeast in the first place is not just because your immunity is low, but also because you haven't been the most disciplined eater, it may be difficult for you to fall directly into this disciplined lifestyle and diet. Getting the cream and following the diet will help you immensely. The pill for the gut, which you will probably get, especially if the yeast is chronic, will help you as well, because it will get rid of some of the yeast that's in your gut, and then, like, by preventing the yeast by use of this diet and on the acidophilus and all the other things we spoke about, you can stop it from recurring. And last but not least, womb herbs. There's raspberry leaf tea, which is good for your womb. Mint is also good for your womb. Ginger is antifungal and anti-inflammatory, and evening primrose, which is also good, but not good, I believe, for pregnant mothers. But you can ask about these things with your doctor. When I was pregnant, I think all these things you might want to run by your doctor, but when I was pregnant, to avoid getting yeast or any problems, I used to do many of the things that I've told you, especially drinking lime water and whatnot, and it caused no problems to my fetuses at all. So I would suggest that you guys really look into this. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you can at least try to supplement your medication with these things, because yeast is similar to cancer in the sense that it's there, you take the medicine, or you cut it out. But if you don't change and prevent what is causing it in the first place, it will probably come back. One of the key things is low sugar and acidophilus, for sure. But all of these things paired, joined together, will definitely help you eliminate that yeast from your diet. I hope this is beneficial to you, and I wish you all the best. Take care.